Um, two things I'm ultra grateful for is, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and my team, man. I usually look inward or upward for inspiration, like to Samir. That was unbelievable. Both you guys did incredibly, Diego. Okay. You're one recruit away from an explosion. I heard so many great things from so many people today. Cheryl, you were right on the money. Seriously. Like she said, that's the title of this, but then it's like, no, you're one prospect away from an explosion. And I love the way that you put that. But with that being said, in order for things you see to change, you have to change the way you see things. Most people don't really understand the real opportunity here, right? Some people come for an extra 2,000 of income per month, and that's okay. But there's a much bigger picture here. You can grow an entire company here just by developing a recruiting focus. So I did this at the Fast Start School. I just felt like it was a really good message after a huge, just monumental, momentous month. Right? There's a lot of momentum we have going into February as a team. And it's my goal in going into the new year was to over recruit. So in the first 3 months of the new year, Bruce always told us, if you do that, you'll earn the right to quadruple your income, your productivity, and size of your team in the entire year if you over recruit in the first 3 months. Recruiting solves all problems. Another thing that I was taught is that recruiting leads to big licensing, and big licensing leads to production. Production leads to promotions, right? And then all that, increases your cash flow. Always remember that a recruit is not a recruit until they get a recruit. It's got to be a reflex. Yes, be excited about getting, that first recruit, but understand that until they get someone on their team, you have not locked them in. There's no real reason for them to stay. We've seen people that make $100,000 a year quit and leave before because it's just them. There's nothing holding them here. One of the other things that Bruce taught us is that is an equation. It starts with you showing up. You turn that into 5 personal recruits, which is your width. Take that, and again, because a recruit's not a recruit until they get a recruit, drive down 4 deep. And that's automatically going to turn into double-digit recruiting, 10 plus recruits a month. And then you teach one other person to do that. And that's 20 recruits a month, 240 recruits per year. And that's when you start knocking on the door of regional vice president, opening the location of your own, right? Our job is to create an environment whereby recruiting never stops. That number 100 reminded me of something I was looking up. Samir, I think this deserves another round of applause, not yet, but Samir was in the top 100 in base shop production last month, number 87, with 50,000 of base shop production. There are 5,000 RVPs in Primerica. Samir was in the top 100. Give it up for him. Now, with that being said, this is the picture, by the way, if you guys want to take a picture of it. With that being said, I have friends that they're like my friends, like they're my age. They're at 75,000 of production. One of my other friends that we went to visit in Willie Naranjo's base shop, he's at 87,000 of base shop production, and he just became an RVP maybe 18 months ago. So we got a lot of work to do, but depth truly is the secret. This came from a book. I can't even remember the name of it right now. We'll post it, but It says width equals profitability, but depth equals your security. Anybody looking for security? That comes from depth and licensing. Okay, width is the ingredient, but depth is the secret. You want to get 10 wide, but you want to go 4 deep or deeper. Depth leads to the compound effect. Just like you can compound interest with your money, you can compound size with your team through depth. That's why my main focus is depth. Generally speaking, people who bring people, who bring people, who bring people. This message has got to be echoed. I love what Xander said. If you're smart, you'll teach your folks how to recruit on social media right away. But if you're smart, you'll teach your recruits to recruit in general. That's the best thing they could do to obtain wealth here. The orientation is the most important meeting of anyone's career. It's the orientation. You got to set the intentions up front. When you're with your brand new recruit, are you doing the right things with them? Are you putting the right message in their head? Some people want to get them on a sale, right? Some people want to get them their own personal plan. I want to get them their first recruit. Actually, I want to get them 3 recruits in the first 3 days of being in this business, right? So my intentions are to recruit, to build, and not just to sell. Here, you normalize recruiting, okay? It's not that someone comes here and they have to recruit, right? They shouldn't be thinking that. If you draw the picture the right way in their head, in their orientation, no one's going to say, do I have to recruit? Do I have to? They're going to say, oh, wow, I get to recruit. I get to build a company of my own, and I get to control my schedule, and I get to control my pay raises, not someone else doing that for me, right? And so the idea, bare but minimum, is to set 5 recruiting appointments day 1, okay? That's honestly always my goal. And so in closing, anybody ever heard of the penny a day example? You ever heard of that, Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah?
The biggest thing.
Oh, yeah. So when someone asks, would you rather take $1 million cash today or 1 penny that doubles every single day from now to 30 days from now? A lot of people would rather take the instant gratification. Right. And when you make a decision to recruit, you're going to receive pushback. You're going to have to go through some knuckleheads. You're going to have to deal with rejection. But if you can persist, like Xander said, look at what happens in this compounded effect. Nothing really happens exciting until day 28. See, if you had taken the $1 million in cash, that would have been exciting, but the excitement of the compound effect doesn't start until day 28, because that's when you would have exceeded what you could have gotten, right?
Yeah.
So make a decision to recruit, create an environment for your team, and let's get big.